like, I'm going to try to show you guys a photo real quick. Look at it closely. I don't know if you can read it. This is Instagram, and this is reality. So what we're going to start with our series today is a series based on the Kleshas. And the Kleshas are mentioned in the book that was compiled of the yogic philosophy called the Yoga Sutras. I'm going to go ahead and read the first 3 verses of the Yoga Sutras. That's going to lead us into this series. This comes from chapter 2. All life is suffering to those who deeply investigate the truths of life. Then second verse after that, but suffering can be avoided. Following that, the cause of suffering is ignorance, not discerning the difference between the seer and the seen, not discerning the difference between our idea of reality and true reality. Okay. So the root causes of suffering are 5 different subjects. So basically, like in Buddhism, they talk about suffering, but they'll talk about like all these emotions that kind of create suffering. And I didn't write those down. There's like 9 or 10 different ones. In yoga, they break it down to categories, 5 different categories. The first one is what we're going to be discussing this week, which is ignorance. And ignorance is basically not knowing. It's not the same thing as stupid. Ignorance is just not knowing. So I gave you guys an example before I started this recording. I mentioned my son's a drummer, and he was getting to play with some of his friends, and they said, be sure to know the shuffle, because they were wanting to do some blues music. Well, my boyfriend is a blues guitarist by trade, you know, from his background, even though he does other music. And so I knew he knew that language, and I mentioned to him, hey, Gabe's gonna get to go play some blues tomorrow with his friends, and he's gonna do the shuffle. And then Rob educated me and said, well, which kind of shuffle? There's like 20 different styles. And so I had him educate Gabriel on that, because I wasn't aware that Gabriel knew that there were 20 different styles, right? And me not being a musician, I just don't know. I'm ignorant about that stuff. All of us have our own kind of knowledge and specialty. What Stephanie knows, I may have no knowing about. But she may be coming to class today not knowing anything about this, right? So it's nice to have these connections with each other, because we can lean on each other with their expertise or their knowledge. And we can gain more understanding and comprehension to incorporate it into our lives. So all of us have a level or a layer of ignorance. We just do. And so there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of being human. But the idea of it is, don't allow the ignorance to create suffering. Like right now, we're going through this thing called COVID. You know, and we're going through this era of so much information being thrown our way. So many different narratives being thrown our way. And I mean, in the beginning, I was with one narrative, and then it got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to hold space, because good Lord, there's so much coming out. I don't really know the truth. I don't know how it originated. I have my idea, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know how it leaked from the lab. I don't know if it's conspiracy driven. I certainly think it's a possibility, but I don't know. You know, all I know is we can't stay embedded in fear. We have to remember our source, our foundation, our purpose in being here is about love. We were born by love, we were made by love and to love. And that's what we're here to do. So last week, a person came in for Reiki. She came in double masked. She had COVID she's been recovering for 5 weeks, right? She's been testing negative for weeks. She had it already. And she is having all these like symptoms still, even though she's showing negative, she's run through her body, but it's still activated in her body. She's in a lot of pain. She has a lot of head fog. She came in double masked. She was standing at a distance. And I'm like, I'm not going to treat you like you've got the plague. You've been testing negative. It was over how many weeks ago? I was like, I'm still going to mask up to give you Reiki because I'm going to be right over your face. And it's just out of, respect at this point. But basically what I'm trying to say is someone could look at her and see or hear about her symptoms and think, I got to stay away from this person, right? She's contaminated, she could be spreading something. It's like, she's past that point. She just needs some help with some healing. She wants to feel better, right? And she did feel better. The next day she texted me and she was like, brain fog is gone, body's feeling better. She still had some symptoms, but she was way better than she was when she stepped through the door. But all of these, there's so many different veils of illusion. And if you look at over Easter, and I know you probably weren't with me over Easter, but I did sacred symbols. And I'm turning around because I'm still thinking I'm at half moon. We used to have an Om symbol like above the moon. But the Om symbol looks like a calligraphy 3, and then there's like a crescent moon and a bindi at the top. Well, just to remind you, because we've been over the symbol before, but you could have forgotten, that little crescent moon in the upper right corner represents the veil of illusion, the veil of forgetfulness. And it's that veil we step through when we are born into this human body and we're here on this earthly plane. So the veil of forgetfulness makes us forget who we are, our essence, our connection to source, our purpose for being here. Like our soul has all these contracts coming in, but the veil of forgetfulness, we don't know, and we have to figure it out. And then we have to see what we align with. And then we're constantly trying to stay on the path. But the veil of ignorance or the veil of illusion that we say is also something that we're trying to lift. And the beautiful thing about yoga and meditation is it was designed to help us to lift the veil. It's supposed to help us to lift the veil so that we have our own. I was listening to someone who channels on the way here. And he said, some of my friends are doubting that this channeling is real, and they're doubting what I'm saying because this is new information and this is something we haven't known before. He was like, I didn't even know it before I started channeling. He said, and they're scientific based and they want the evidence. He said, I'm here to tell you, you have to do the practice. You have to go in, and then you decide from your own evidence, from your own experience, whether this aligns with truth or not. And that's what we're all here to do. And this is the point of working through the Kleshas. The other ones that will go week by week: egoism, attachments, aversions, and the fear of death or clinging to life. So those are the 5. We're going to be talking about avidya. Avidya is the ignorance or the illusion, if you want to call it that, be interchangeable. So we're going to actually start on our backs today. And you're going to be supine. I would spread out the upper back and shoulders and let your hands rest on your stomach. So even this morning, my boyfriend was reading an article and then he looked it up online because he wanted to know a little bit more of the truth about it. And I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically this new technology that Hollywood only had before, but now it's broken out into the masses. And this new technology can actually change the face of someone on a video. And so they've already done it with pornography, and now they're doing it with parodies like on TikTok, where they will take a famous person's face and put it on another body that has their same body type, And it actually looks real. It looks like it's really this person. And one of those parodies was Tom Cruise playing a guitar and singing, and it wasn't him at all. And this is what makes the world tricky. Avidya. When we can't see our true nature, when we cannot see the true nature of reality, or when we don't see the divine essence within everything and everyone. This is avidya. So set your intention as you practice today to try to lift or to break through the veil. And start to breathe in a diaphragmatic way. The breath is so important, and the breath is so vital to this practice. The breath can be alchemic to the mind, and the breath helps to nourish the body. The breath helps to oxygenate our bloodstream. The breath can help digestion. The breath can boost immunity. The breath has a direct effect on our nervous system. So use your breath in a productive way to get yourself grounded in your body, centered in your heart, before we add and incorporate any more movement. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, inhale, stretch the arms out overhead, point through your toes, drawing the feet a little closer together. Feel the extra lift in your lumbar area, the additional opening of the chest. And then as you exhale, flatten the low back, draw the knees in towards your side body, and take a hold of your feet in happy baby pose. Ground down through your sacrum. Pull gently down on your feet and have the legs wide open. As you pull the feet down, the knees will begin to descend, and we're operating more into the hips. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And then just kind of rock gently from side to side on your back. Come back to stillness and close the knees together. Wrap your arms around with metta, love and kindness towards yourself. And then gently roll over to one side of your body. And we're going to come all the way up to stand, but bring your strap with you. Hold your strap in half. Look down at your feet. Spread the base of the feet and the toes. Inhale, pull the strap like shoulder distance apart. Lift the arms up overhead. Ground your feet, get them super cemented into your mat, and then as you exhale, curve to the right. Now, once you curve and you feel that flexion in your right side body, pull up through the seam of your right ribs. Chandrasana, crescent moon. And that crescent moon and that symbol of Om representing the veil of illusion, that veil of ignorance or forgetfulness. Inhale, bring the arms straight up. And as you exhale, curve to the left. Again, feeling the flexion on the left side, but work through that seam on the underside of the ribs there. See if you can create a little bit more space and openness. Inhale up to the top. Separate your hands wide. Take the strap just behind your shoulders. If it's not wide enough for you, slide your hands more. And if the strap's not long enough, yeah, you can release the fold of the strap. We're trying to breathe into the top of the chest where you feel the connective tissues meeting the shoulders. Take some deep inhales. It can be briefer exhales here. Inhale, lift the arms straight up. And then exhale, release. All right, hold the strap, shoulder distance apart again. I'm gonna do one more for the shoulders. Inhale, lift the arms straight up over the crown of your head. And notice the feet may be light and your legs may not be as engaged. So root the feet down, engage the muscles through the legs, tighten even through your glutes, and then bring the strap just behind the back of the head. Reach the strap towards the wall behind you. You may get some vibration occurring as we remove tension from the trapezius zone. Inhale, lift the arms straight up. Exhale one more time. Bring the strap down just behind the base of the neck. This time we're going to tuck the tailbone. We're going to lean the head back. And we're pushing the arms back and up, back and up, back and up until the arms are straight. And we're holding a standing backward bend. Try not to hold your breath. And then slowly exit out. All right, we're going to use that strap a little bit later, but I got the shoulders warmed up for now. Bring your hands to clear position at your heart. Stand at the top of your mat. We're going to begin our flow. With your hands sealed together, remember our intention, our theme this week. Sweep the arms to your sides and up to upward worship. Exhale, pour straight down through your center, down towards your feet in Uttanasana. Plug the belly in, straighten out through your legs if you can. Slide your hands up the shin bones and elevate your heart. Look out with your eyes, Ardha Uttanasana. Pour down, plant the palms, stepping into plank, and immediately lower to Chaturanga. Inhale, land the knees, bloom up with your heart center, up dog, and exhale, roll back over your toes to downward facing dog. Spread out through your fingers and hands. Straighten out through your arms. Slide your heart back towards your legs. Root the feet to elevate the ankles. To lift a little higher through your hips. Take another deep breath. Determine for yourself, would you like to meditationally walk forward? Do you want to lunge forward or float through to Ardha Uttanasana? And then exhale, bow over and down. Inhale, coming all the way to the top, upward worship. And then flow straight down through the midline. Separating the hands, bowing your head, Uttanasana. Straighten out through the leg bones, lift through your kneecaps, and rise halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, you're gonna plant your hands, step back to plank, and lower down to that low push-up. Land your knees, inhale, lift your heart, close your heels in to be parallel, curl the toes under, draw in through the navel, and rock and roll back. And breathe. So a couple of us here went to see the Rolling Stones the other night. And when I taught yesterday morning, there was probably 4 or 5 of us that had gone to that concert. And people were asking us about it, and we were laughing and talking about, you know, Mick Jagger's like, I don't know, late 70s.
102.
He recently had heart surgery and he's still so active. Bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lift up halfway up on the right foot, arm Tanasana. And then exhale, lower down and in. So someone Googled, hey, does Mick Jagger do yoga? Because he's still like lifting his shirt, wanting you to see his abs, you know. And sure enough, he does yoga and Pilates. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands together and fold. We're gonna keep this rolling just to warm up. We're using the Asun cells to go deeper. Inhale the top way. Exhale, take Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering gently towards the floor and hover if possible. And then inhale, lift up. And exhale, rock and roll back. Breathing in and out through the nose. But part of the illusion is, you know, that band's been together 60 years and they lost Charlie recently. So it's really just kind of the final 3 with hired musicians on the side. But yet they all 3 stay at separate hotels. Right? So part of the illusion the other night was thinking, oh, they're so close. Until you discover, yeah, but they also want their space, right? They've known each other a long time. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lift up energetically. Exhale, fold. Now, I want you to ponder for a moment when you're bowing down, what are some of the illusions or what you thought maybe was reality according to your 5 senses that you've broken out of just from this practice alone? Just from dealing with this pandemic of home. Inhale, bring it all the way to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're gonna move on, but still do a flow. Inhale, take your chair pose. Sprout up through your side body, through your side lats. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Tanasana, affirming here. Nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back, not even the veil of forgetfulness or ignorance. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll it back to downward facing dog. We're gonna lift the right leg halfway up. As we exhale, we're gonna swing the foot through in between the hands. Turn and plant your back foot down to the floor and rise to warrior 1. If you're leaning slightly forward, try to attempt to get the spine more vertical, right over the pelvis. Back heel sinks lower. The back thigh will plug in more when you do that. Glide your left hip a little bit more forward to the front. Round and out the big toe on the right side. And exhale, release the hands. Step it back. Take your vinyasa. Nice, steady, rhythmic breath. to create some steady rhythmic movement. Inhale, let's lift the left leg. Exhale, let's step it through between the hands. Offsetting and planting the right foot down before coming to warrior one. Solidify the feet. Square off the hips. Lift through the navel and fingertips. Chin parallel to the floor, looking straight ahead. Now bring the hands down. Step it back to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, rolling back. Open up space in your low belly and low back. Ascending your sits bones higher. And even though that's where the energy is directed physically in the body, we're actually manipulating the energy to flow down to the third eye, the place where we can cleanse the limbs, see more clearly, and break through those veils of illusion, especially the illusions of our own perception. Inhale, plant the feet at the top of the mat, open your heart. Exhale, release. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Sprout up to your side body, up to your side lats. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do one more of that before we move on. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Now, if you want to bounce back to that, you don't have to step through plank. Inhale, we're going to scissor the right leg up. So we're pointing the toes this time, making a little bit more extension. Good. Step it through. Plant the back foot. Warrior one. So we're not doing an Ashtanga practice per se, right? Just think about how we opened up. We used all the strap work for the shoulders, but I am using that style for inspiration. Exhale, hands down. Step back. Drop and hover. Lift it up. And roll it back. Pausing in downward facing dog to make sure that you have the right position to elevate your left leg and scissor it up. Step the foot through. Plant the back foot down. Inhale, warrior one. Tuning ourselves to the wheel of higher power. Exhale, hands down. Step it back. Drop it low. Inhale, build it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. So a lot of the things I've been listening to, take it or leave it, you guys, seriously. Because I've been going down the rabbit hole with some of this spiritual stuff this past year. That the veil of illusion of forgetfulness was actually not supposed to exist. And it's the matrix that's been created from kind of the dark side or the dark forces that has created that. So part of the awakening of this ascension we're going through is to have the remembrance coming back. And this is another reason why this practice is so important, if that is in fact true. Inhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat. Lift up energetically. Exhale, full release. Now we're going to stay here, but we're going to heel toe the feet apart a little bit. Not as wide as the sticky mat, but close. You're going to loop the peace mudra around each big toe, bending the knees if you need to. Your thumbs are going to push down into the toenails. You're going to fan your arms away from the legs to open up a breezeway for the arms. But really, it's not really for the breezeway, it's for expanding the chest. We expand the chest, then the room is available for the lungs to swell more. So increase your breath supply to your lungs. Now this mudra on the toes and what we're doing here helps to stimulate an acupressure point for the pituitary gland located in the head. Inhale, slowly lift up. Then you're going to separate the mudra from the toes to press the palms underneath the feet so that you're literally standing on your hands and you're going to bow back down. The head releases, the chin drops in towards the chest as though you were trying to look up towards your belly button. Good, now remove the hands. Bring the hands up to your waist and slowly come up. When you come up, if you guys want to face me, so you're not just gazing out the window, you can. And you guys can turn this way. We're gonna separate the feet wide. And make sure if you extend your arms, your ankles would be about the proximity of where your ankles are. Okay, and then rotate your right foot. Good, lengthen out over that side. And then we're going to windmill the right hand down and bring the left arm skyward. So I want you to notice this right shoulder. And I want you to roll the right shoulder back towards your waist. Reach out through your sternum, like you're trying to send your sternum towards the right big toe. Revolve your belly, maybe turn your gaze up, if that's okay for your neck. Now bring the neck to neutral, looking out in the midpoint of the room. Left arm's gonna reach over the ear. Good, inhale, draw the arm back up, come to stand. Lunge the right knee. Prop onto it with your right elbow. Sink down a little bit heavier through the upper right thigh. And then plant more firmly and glue the back foot down. Take your left hand, roll open through the belly, and then slip the arm behind your back. You may or may not be able to get the left fingertips to cup your right thigh. No worries if you can't. If your head's lifting up like mine is, bring it down a little bit so the neck's in line with the spine. Breathing. Maybe seeing if your right hand can slip down to tap the floor, just resting on the light fingertips. Take the left arm skyward again, but we're going to bring the left hand down, spin away from your back heel, and shoot the right arm skyward, spinning the navel towards the inner right thigh. Lunge the right knee a little bit extra, push through your back heel. Exhale, sink the right hand. Good, plant the back foot. Safely come up. Turn your right foot in. Feet are parallel again. Arms extend just to check the proximity of where everything's aligned. And then rotate your left foot. Lengthen over it, keeping that front leg straight. So left leg straight, Mandy. Yeah. I'm doing this one first.
Okay, okay.
And then left hand down, right arm up. Now, Kimberly. Oh, you just corrected it. I was gonna ask, but notice your neck. You have the tendency to drop your head. I have the tendency to lift my head. Yeah, that's better. Roll the left shoulder back. Maybe turn the gaze up towards the right fingertips. And then affirm mentally, energy and joy flow down to me. Energy and joy flow down to me. Inhale, let's bring it up. Exhale, let's lunge the front knee. Drop down through the top of that thigh bone. Rest your elbow on top of the knee. Take your hand across your belly, open it up. Straighten out your back leg. And then slip that arm behind you. I like that padding.
Yes, the come and go belly.
No doubt. I had such a big belly last night because I literally taught all day yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I taught from 9 to 8.
Jeez, that's a long day.
It was a long day. And I think I did so much talking. I had so much air in my belly. It's like I was bloated, but it wasn't water. It's just air. That's lovely for you people at home to learn about. All right, see if your left fingertips can slip down to the floor. We get rather personal here, don't we? And then go ahead and slip the right hand down, spin away from the back heel, and shoot the left arm skyward. Squeeze the left hip in. Exhale, bring that left hand down, turn and plank your back foot. Safely and slowly come up, turning the foot in. All right, so we're gonna take the hand behind the back and try reverse prayer hands, where the fingertips come together at the base of the spine, and then you swim or wiggle them up. Your thumbs and the heel of the hands may or may not come together. Just do your best. And if that doesn't work well, just cross your arms behind your back. All right, from here, wing the elbows back. Lift through your navel, lift through your sternum. Good, turn your right foot 90 degrees. Offset your left foot, square the hips. Open up your heart, lean back. Exhale, start to pour down over the right leg, keeping your right hip up as you descend. So sometimes we sag and lower the right hip, but try to keep it lifting up towards the sky. Gaze towards your toes, the Padyogram Drishti. Notice how the elbows may flop. Keep the shoulders open. Inhale, slowly come up. Good, try to keep your hands the same as you turn for the other side. Now, if you cross your arms, I would recommend crossing them the other way. Yeah. Open up your chest, lean the head back. And then exhale, start to take your time. Left hip on the rise. As you bow down, gazing towards the toes. Tanasana. Inhale when you're ready, come on up. So if you're facing the back wall, go ahead and pivot the feet and step to the front. If you're already facing the front of your mat, you can remove your hands and just step up. But see if you can balance with your weight on your left foot and on the mound of the big toe. Okay, left hand to the waist. We're going to catch the right knee. Tanasana A. And then externally rotate the hip for Padyogram B. Notice if you have that catch, is it showing up in your hip or in your buttocks? Bring the knee back, hands to the hips. D. Try not to tuck the tailbone. Excellent. All right, solidify the right foot, stack on the left big toe. Now when you're ready, Padyogram A. Gaze at one spot for better focus. To be. the opening more or less? Is the catch in the same place or somewhere else? What is showing up? Bring the knee back, hands to the waist. Tanasana, deep. Cool. We're gonna bring it back down. So lift your arms up, lift your heels up. Start bending the knees. Dropping towards a toe balance. Hands to prayer. Lean forward, hands down. Sit down. Straighten your legs. Let's spin this way, because I haven't seen that. And then kind of move your sit bones back. Flex your feet. Lift your arms. Exhale, forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Tanasana. And so you're dropping the back of your thigh bones, flying the navel towards the knees and the heart out towards the feet. And it's okay if you can't hold your feet. If and only if your belly lands, should you try to lower the chest and the head. Otherwise, the head stays up and the heart stays up. It's so important to check in because we have this kind of idea that we should always be doing the pose the same way or to the same level. But life, energy, emotions can get in the way. Inhale it, slide the hands back, bring the torso up. We're gonna bend the right knee. Okay. You may want a strap. Now, I'm gonna turn. You want some distance between your thigh and the foot that's closest to you. We're gonna rest on the left hand, stretch up and forward with the right arm. And then you rotate the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, and wrist to get here. Now, if you already know you can't bring the hands together, you may want to use your left hand to bring that strap into your right. And then we lengthen out to the crown to the left arm, circle that hand behind the back. You might be able to find that strap and hold it. You might be able to link the fingers and hold it. Is anyone having trouble with strap that you need assistance with? Okay.
How tight are you going to be in your right?
Oh, that's a great question. So I never bring the heel where the knee's extending past it.
Okay.
So I usually go about here.
Okay.
And then when the arm is wrapped,
Yeah.
you're using that wrap to hug the knee in towards your body.
Okay.
Yeah. The left toes stay lifted. And then inhale gently. All right, so experiment with me. Grab the front side of your ankle, lift the foot up. Right, and when you're taking it over, where does the knee go? It's still up, right? Okay, hand to the underside of the heel. Lift the heel up, what happens to the knee from the inside? Man, in and under.
Yeah, cramp.
All
Sorry.
cramp in the hip, take the arm, this way, yeah. Now, when you lift the heel, what happens to the knee? Drops, right? That's what we want. So that's the proper anatomical action for the half lotus. But if that hurts the ankle, the knee, or the hip, leave it out. Take it there instead, okay? We're gonna take the strap now, over and around the right foot, whether it's here or whether it's in half lotus. Now I'm gonna spin around again. So you're holding the strap with your left hand. Inhale, lift that right arm up. Exhale, then spin it around behind the back and take a twist. Get as close to the foot as you can with your right hand. And then slowly turn your back to face the front. Then the left arm lifts. And as we exhale, we forward fold. Gazing out towards your foot. You need to sit and spin. Inhale, lift halfway. Look out with your eye. Remove the back arm. Remove the strap. Test the waters here. Slide the left foot in. And this is probably what you're gonna look like, right? But if you lean onto the right side of your seat, that knee will most likely spill down. If the knee doesn't touch, you shouldn't be here. So come back to both sits bones. Straighten your leg enough to lower the right foot. And then bring the left foot back. So we can be here versus half lotus. Okay, so either one. Take the left arm and you're going to shoot it through the inside of that left knee. Rotate the arm and hand until you create the bind. We're not going to worry about the strap on this one. Reach the right arm forward, circle it behind the back. Back of the hand can rest anywhere on your body if you can't clasp. And then we lower down. Still hugging the left knee in. Still taking deep breaths.
I'm confused.
Oh, arm to the inside of the knee. Yeah, stretch it out.
Okay.
And then rotate, rotate, rotate.
Okay.
You got it.
All right.
It is a little confusing if you haven't done these poses before.
I know, for some reason, all those times I never got to do this with you.
Inhale slowly. Keep the bind of the left arm and see if you can come down to the left side of your seat. Lift your head up and twist to the right. Now release the bind. So let's straight. Tanasana times 2. Arms lifting up. Exhale, folding down. Do that same sequence on the other side. Slide your hands back. This time the left foot is going to draw back. Yeah, you don't want it too far in, just enough that the foot's flat, the knee's comfortable. Left arm's going to reach up and through the inside of it, and then we rotate the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, wrist. Oh shoot, too far away. And you can even have your hand in your hand holding the strap when you go into that. Right arm reaches forward and then circles behind the back to find and hold the strap. Is this the same side? Oh, same side. You're on the previous side. So straighten your right leg. No, I didn't do this side. Oh, you didn't? Yes, then do that side. Yes. Yeah, make sure if it feels the same, it probably is. To the other side. Yeah. And then inhale, let's come up. Remove that strap. Again, our own evidence. Holding the ankle, lifting it up, seeing what happens with the knee. We need the knee to open as well. So come back, take the underside of the heel, let the knees spill down, and then see what's possible with the half lotus. Yeah. And if you're good here, stay. Strap's gonna wrap around the foot. Inhale, the right arm lifts up. And then exhale, forward fold. Not halfway. Yeah. Strap. And we'll bend the right knee. Just because you could on one side doesn't mean you'll be able to do it to the second. Just because you couldn't on the first doesn't mean you can't to the second. So again, it may look funky, but if you lean to your left sit bone, bring that knee down, then you're going to be able to get into the body. If that's too much, please leave it out. It's not worth it. You're still getting the benefits. Right arm reaches through to create the bind. Left arm extends out and then rotates behind the back. And gently lower the head. Still hugging and tucking that right knee towards your side body. Yeah. This is one of those poses when you see it in a photograph, it's like, yeah, right. Right? It's the illusion, right? It's like the picture I showed you in the beginning.
But I'm still saying that.
You're doing it right. Yeah. It's totally correct. And then inhale, draw. Spin around. I'm gonna take my hair down. We're about to come down to the floor, but before we do that, you have to feel the head of your sit bone. Arms lift up. Exhale, belly draws in and pull back. We're gonna do that a couple more times. Now, continue to roll down. I want to give you an opportunity to take some sort of inversion here. So if you want it to be shoulder stand, if that's your favorite, go for it. If you prefer plow, go for plow. If you want bridge pose, you can take bridge. If you prefer fish pose, you can take fish. Choose one of those. Bridge. Shoulder stand, plow, fish. Some sort of inversion. And hold it for 7 breaths. When you're ready to exit, after the 7, come on down. I'm going to prepare for Shavasana, but check in with your body to see if you need a counter pose for what you did. Would rather sit formally. You may want to blow out blanket or bolster to sit on. Feel free to recline. If that's your inclination. Yeah, if you want to do like the wall. Get settled in your seat. Perform a cleansing breath. Breathe in through your nose. Let it pour out through your mouth. Any place in your body that's touching down to the ground, bring your awareness here. Feel as though whatever is touching down is sinking into the earth. Notice the stability. Notice the support. Lodge yourself here. Turn your inner gaze towards the mind's eye, as if you were looking towards a movie screen. And in this screen that you're peering into, I want us to begin to imagine a new world, Earth. Beautiful place to exist, to live, to prosper, to grow. I want you to imagine that this veil of illusion is lifting. That which obscures us from seeing the true nature of the world, the true nature of the self. Imagine this same veil holds the veil of forgetfulness, and that too is being lifted, so that we remember our origin, our past, our power, our purpose. May the veil of ignorance be lifted so that we come back to our inner knowing. To the true reality. To understand and comprehend how important it is to learn about and to secure our connection to Source, to see and to know that we play an important role within the tapestry of life. May the veil of separation be lifted so that we see, know, and understand we are truly one with everything and everyone. Visualize as these veils are lifted, we're shifting into a higher vibrational timeline. A timeline where there is peace on earth. Where it feels like heaven on earth. Honest leaders who care for their people. Humanity that cares for the environment. Envision a place of inclusivity. A type of utopia where health and healing are abundant, the oceans are clean, our food is pure, and there's unlimited free energy available so that we're no longer using the resources of the earth. Picture beautiful green pastures, pristine mountains and lakes, an abundance of supplies available to meet each individual's needs. Picture everyone coming together in harmony and in peace where truth prevails and where we all feel protected, loved, and safe. Feel free to continue to allow that movie to play in your mind's eye. Or feel free to let it go and to bask in the feeling you get from that vision. Begin to awaken the hands and the feet. Eventually drawing the knees in. Turning to one side of your body. Into a formal seat. So even though I don't have the Om symbol for you to look at, I want you, if you do know it, picture it in your mind's eye. Remembering that the symbol represents the different states of consciousness. And the bindi or the dot above the crescent moon that represents this veil of illusion, or what we would call avidya, ignorance, the unknowing, is all that is between us and the pure, positive state of pure consciousness. It's in these moments of spiritual practices or deep in our meditations that we can experience this pure positive state. Once we get a glimpse, once we have the experience for ourselves, we have the evidence, and then we can try to implement it into our daily lives. And try to hold on to that space, hold on to the memory of that space, and to live from that space. Bringing your hands to prayer position at your heart. We'll close out our practice. The light and the love within me honors and respectfully bows to the love and light within each of you. Namaste.